Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another watch. Why did I say another watch along? That watch along earlier was so much fun. I can't lie to you. It just lives in my hand rent free. The amount of fun we had on that stream was just elite. Welcome to another Liverpool show, ladies and gentlemen. Not another watch along. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you guys right here, right now, please do hit the like button. Please do subscribe. We are here to talk all things LFC, Liverpool Football Club. You know, the biggest club, you get me, in England. Let's go. The biggest club in the world. Shout out to all of you guys. So we're going to be talking, of course, about the Everton game. Even though it feels like we've spoken about it 500 times already. We're going to be talking about the Gakpo unfortunate injury news. And we're going to be looking forward to the Wolves game. Joining us first and foremost, the biggest American fraud on the internet. You know, absolute fraud. Man like Mike is in the building. Hi, Mike.
I mean, if by fraud you mean genius, then I'm just the biggest fraud around. But big up to everybody. Yeah, let's just chop it up. Dive into it. No need for a big intro.
Okay, damn. Are you busy on Valentine's Day or something?
No. There's a lot to say today, so there's no point in me wasting the people's time with my calculator breath.
You're just never gonna let that go, yeah? Never gonna let that go. I have it. You know, sometimes people feel like I have so many things on my table. It's actually mad. I could just pull out a hammer from the table. It's mad. Joining us next, you get me? Everyone's favorite Kelleher fan. He has his hair out today. It's not tied up like Verge. Man like Kmack is in the building. Hi, Kmack.
How's everyone going? Good. Are you all with your loved ones? Not? That's because you're in the garage. That's why you're going to pull a hammer out.
I actually have so much stuff on my... I have like an electric lighter. I've got a normal lighter. I've got a scissors for some reason. I got a calculator. Got a hammer. But it's not
chocolate milkshake and hairband.
That's all you need. That's all you need. Joining us next, you get me? This guy, I love working with him. He knows I love working with him as well. I'll be honest with you, I thought he was going to be the one who said he couldn't make it because of Valentine's Day, but he's here regardless. The man, the myth, the legend, the coach, man like JJ is in the building. Hi, JJ.
What's going on? Why would you think I wouldn't make it? Why?
Because I know. Because you're the one that's in a relationship out of us all.
Yeah,
you're in a relationship.
Sam, what
I'm pretty sure Kmack's married. I think Jamie is married, who's supposed to be here. I think Endz might have a missus, and I'm assuming that JJ also has a missus, not a missus, but a relationship. Based on, I think it was a couple shows ago. I could be totally wrong now.
But
yes, you said she got you a PS5. Okay, here's my analogy. Right, a month ago you said she got you a PS5 on one of the shows.
Yeah, ages ago. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she's the one that got it to her. So I was thinking maybe because like you have that sort of relationship, you're gonna go out on Valentine's Day.
Look at my face, people.
What? I swear.
I'm taking mine to London tomorrow to see the
what?
Everyone knows Valentine's you do Valentine's Day a week before. Everyone knows that. Skip all the chumps. Do it the week before or the week after. Everyone knows that.
Fairs. Okay. Listen, I've never celebrated Valentine's Day. Joining us next on the channel.
You will be though. I'm the actual only single person here.
I'm actually single as well, Mike. Thank you very much.
5 years.
Due to be engaged. Due to be engaged.
No, not due to be engaged. That was called off. Do you even watch my content, fraud? That's called off.
Oh wow. I
publicly announced it's being called off as well. I called it off.
I had no idea.
Yes, I'm single.
Well, apologies.
I thought, but then you call it off because of the family issue thing.
No. I called off. Okay, so basically, I called off the engagement party because of the family issue. But then I called off like me getting engaged to her a week later because of disagreements. But so I don't like to talk badly about people.
Fair enough.
Okay. Joining us next. Yeah. Back to the football. Joining us next on the channel. It's already difficult enough listening to Mike give football like conversations. Imagine listening to him give relationship advice. Yeah. Joining us next on the channel. Speaking of difficult to listen to speak about football, you get me. His camera is not working today. because his son drop kicked it. That's what he told me. But he has a Salah background on to try win back the Dar Hussam audience. Man, like Endz is in the building. Hi, Endz.
Listen, man. No, listen. He did drop kick it. He snapped it by accident. But we got, you know what I mean? We got other ones, but I gotta find it. But it's too late for me to run around and try and find it right now. But yeah, no, man. Looking forward to it, man. Liverpool draw, the fan base meltdown again. 7 points clear, so much to chop up. But I told you, Salah's been my guy. I just don't use the background all the time. That's all it is.
My guy.
Good background.
And last but not least, guys, Jamie can't make today's stream, obviously, because he had a situation with his daughter. So wishing him and her well. So big up to him. So there's a mystery guest, super sub. You get me? Sometimes, I feel like punching him in the face. Sometimes I feel like I want to be in a UFC ring with him. But I absolutely love working with him as well. So joining us on the channel, of course, is none other than Thomas Little. How are you doing, Thomas, mate?
Hello, people. First time I've actually appeared from the start on the show. Who can believe
Can I just tell you that
You were going to get away with that.
the crazy relationship
know.
that this audience 1 second, you know the crazy relationship that this audience has with Tom Little? First comment, yes. Second comment, no. They're literally 3 seconds apart, guys. They're 3 seconds apart.
the
bro.
best
It's
people,
crazy.
the smartest people in the world divided opinion. And I hear we were talking about relationships earlier. I came representing, someone may have got it right in the comments about where I've been tonight, but I'm repping a shirt about which the missus bought me. Look at that, Alison Becker, the best goalie in the world.
Don't tell me you wore that out on a Valentine's
No, I didn't wear it out.
Day.
No. See, I would have been murdered for that. I
Yeah.
wore it because I've been asked to come on this.
Okay.
So I figured we'd get a little bit of Liverpool
I
representation.
mean,
on
it might have something on there that you want on Valentine's.
I do want Alison to
Okay.
He is very good.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
I want him in goal.
Hello.
Get your minds out the gutter, people. I want him in goal. I want to stop.
You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. Wallahi, you're finished.
Let me just read the superstar score.
He kind of walked into it. It was like.
Yeah, he did. He did. That was just like a trap door. He just fell in. Like
It was a Nunez tap in, and he actually finished it.
Yeah, fell in the trap. Big up to my guy Fonzie. Says, Mike, you're not single. You're married to your calculator, mate.
Listen, bro, I can do
He was a
math.
calci.
All right.
Big up
Calculations.
Fonzie,
Bang, bang,
man.
bang.
I call him
Big
a
up
calci,
Fonzie,
you know.
man. Can you allow the people to humor us, man? Big up Fonzie. That's actually hilarious.
They're
Big
just
up.
angry that they can't do math in their head. That's all. That's all.
Tom take the stream to another level. And once again, he doesn't just confuse our audience, he confuses our super chatters as well. Because Nino says this, and Ed says, I mean, it's Tom, could be Ray too, similar traits. Imagine. Like
No, see,
Wow.
one guy
people-
just said Tom takes the stream to another level.
Wow.
The next comment is he could be Ray. Like, what can I what the fuck am I
people,
supposed
you don't understand. The Don Hassam channel's had a wonderful thing where Ray hasn't been in the comments,
to- Yes.
but that has
Yes.
meant that I've had to deal with him because he doesn't stop DMing me for the past 3 weeks. All that man has said is, it's Arsenal's league, we're not good enough. It's Arsenal's league, we're not good enough. You're a fraud for saying we're going to win the league, this, that, and the other. You know how mind-blowing it is to listen to that every single day without any rhyme or reason? The man thinks they're going to beat Nottingham Forest because Nwaneri's a good youngster. It blows my mind.
Arteta's going to break him.
Ray is definitely a fraud. Ray is definitely a fraud.
Whoever
die.
started
Let
the
it
Ban
die.
Ray Fund, you saved a lot of people in this chat, but you caused me so much emotional pain.
That's
So
actually
much
Ed.
emotional pain.
The same guy cussing you. He's the guy that started the Ban Ray fund.
It's your fault, Ed, that I've got to deal with this. It's your fault.
Big up to JB who says, I feel for Caicedo, Real Madrid level play being run into the ground, keeping Chelsea from finishing 9th. Chelsea have been figured out. Sam, we both said that it would happen back in October. Mo minus 10 ball knowledge. Hey, JB, listen, I'm going to cook Mo's ass because he negatively influenced us all into thinking Chelsea are a good side. I honestly believe it now. Like, we've been fully negatively influenced. And Tom is right. Listen, I need to trust myself more because I know ball. And I know I should have just stuck to my guns when it comes to Chelsea. And I should have said that they shouldn't have sacked Pochettino. I knew it. But I fell for all the hype. I fell for the Chelsea purple patch. And I apologize to those bums. I'm going to apologize to Poch at the end of the season when they finish 6th.
Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong with Chelsea. Top 4 clubs have games like that.
Yeah, but if Bournemouth win tomorrow and City or Newcastle, whichever one win, they're literally 6th. That's where Poch was.
I know that, but sixth by a point with 14 games to go.
I can't believe like how bad they've been, and they haven't really fell away, which is a bit weird. Which just shows how bad all the others are as well.
We can't hear you, by the way. We can't hear you.
You muted yourself, Tom. Attaboy.
You weren't there for like the week after we beat Chelsea 2-1. We beat them 2-1. And Hassan was doing an apology tour afterwards, going, "I apologise to Chelsea. You're gonna get top 4 this season. I apologise to Caicedo and to Lavia. You're really good. You're gonna win the title in the next couple of years. The project is there." And I was sitting there, going, "You're getting ahead of yourself. We beat them. They're not fully there." But Hassan was doing the apology tour, and now the problems that were gonna happen with Chelsea are happening. You buy a championship manager. You buy low quality players with potential, play them all together, and the moment there's a bit of adversity, it all falls apart. They won't get top 4 this year. They won't get top 5 this year. They will do another year.
Oh, that's what I'm looking forward to. I think top 4, top 5. If they don't get that, and
it is top 5.
But that's the thing. If they don't get top 5 and they finish 6th, we're gonna have
so because they've just registered some of their best players for the rest of the Euro games, so they're going to probably burn them out as well.
Fair.
Yeah, but the most they can get out of that, they win that Conference League to go Europa League. I look at it that I think we're finishing above them, obviously. Arsenal are finishing above them. Nottingham Forest are finishing above them.
Yeah.
Man City are finishing above them. Newcastle are finishing above them. And that's all the certainties. I'm not factoring that maybe Aston Villa, if they get knocked out of the Champions League.
Bournemouth could.
Bournemouth, if they can just get some injuries back and get another little run going like they got earlier in the season, they could get there. I don't see how Chelsea get top 4 this season. And all those Chelsea fans at the start of the season trying to chat to me about our squad's better, our manager's better, he's a Pep disciple. All this stuff, it's come falling down.
Endz, you're literally on the stream, mate. You could say this, like you could just unmute your mic.
Yeah, like this is the reason why.
I don't know why you're commenting when you're literally here, bro. Like you're literally here. Like you could just say, guys, we're here to talk about Liverpool, which I agree with. Tom, happy
implement the 12-point rule or whatever.
And then she says, Tom is a minor, everyone. Watch your language, is what Nafisa saying. You guys want to know something? Tom is actually, Tom pulled. Tom is dating above his league because he's dating an Olympic doctor, guys. She's in the Olympics and a doctor at the same time. And he's doing streams on Don Hussam. You get me? So Tom had some form of charisma we were unaware about. So big up to you, Nafisa. Your crimes earned you your Ray DMs. Yeah, he has a lot of crimes, Ed. He has a lot of crimes. We're going to add to that list. I've been telling you guys, just tell me what else should I add to that list, and no one's listened. So Roman net spend 1.01 billion, 14 major trophies. Bowley net spend 0.87 billion, 0 trophies. Clearly, manager is not the problem. That's what I said last year, but they didn't believe me. But I didn't believe me. But I should have stuck to my guns. Tom, how was Valentine's Day with Amarim?
Oh, that's wild.
That is actually Fonzie, you went 2 from 2 with your jokes today.
Fonzie,
first the Mike calculator joke and now this. Well done.
It was funny when you went at Mike, not at me. Keep going at Mike. It's funny when you go at Mike.
You're the one who's wasting time talking about a team that's 14 points behind us. Like, what are we doing?
I was doing.
I agree. So now let's talk about Liverpool. Big up to Tron. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says like the stream. And listen, guys, you guys know how the Liverpool show gets. So I don't want to keep interrupting it to say like the video. But we do have 700 people in here, and we're not even at 100 likes yet. This is some bullshit, you guys. So everyone hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Every single one of you, absolutely incredible, amazing people. Like the video, subscribe. And let's just get this party started. And I want to start off with Jerry. before we open the floor up with the Everton game, because obviously the first thing we talk about, actually no, first thing we do is Liverpool this week, so it's Plymouth and Everton. So we'll let JJ start us off, and we'll take it from there.
Where do I start? Plymouth or Everton?
Whichever way you want. No,
I'll start Plymouth. Yeah, not a great performance. I think as a fan base, we kind of overrate our depth a bit. I think when you break down the team that went and played, I know there was an onus because Liverpool and Plymouth are 20th in the Championship that, Liverpool were just, no matter who we put there, they're just going to beat Plymouth. And I think I think Arne Slot kind of forgot that it's the FA Cup. It's known as the giant killing competition because at any given moment you could play a team and they could do it, extremely well. You saw with Spurs against Tamworth, and Tamworth are in non-league, and you saw how long it took them to go and break them down. And Liverpool in a similar situation where had a lot of the ball, but the midfield and the defenders in terms of the first phase and second phase just couldn't do anything with it. And our game plan seemed to be get the ball to Chiesa, Jota or Diaz and just hope for them to just run through everyone and slap it into the top bins. The midfield didn't really do anything. I think Elliott just went missing. Tsimikas went missing. Even Endo, he done all right. It was okay. I think he's probably one of the better players. But again, you see why he doesn't start games. In possession, there's no incisive pass. There was nothing. And we resulted in, Jota trying to pick up the ball from Endo and play balls through when we get onto Jota for not being, the best on the ball. We want him in the box finishing. So it was just, you got the Chiesa, that's a pensioner on the right-hand side. And for me, it's over for him. I don't want to see him play for Liverpool. I think it's done. The ACL killed him, unfortunately. And then you got an out-of-form Diaz. And I like Diaz, but when you're asking an out-of-form player to beat 5 players and slap it into the top bins, and you're asking a pensioner to do the same, and the player that's good inside the box to do the same as well, I think, you start to look at it and you're like, actually, we didn't really have the minerals in that game. So we had all of the ball, but it never looked like we were going to score. But again, look, in hindsight, that FA Cup, it is what it is. You're knocked out of it, but it probably, you would have thought, would have aided Liverpool, for the Everton game in particular, with resting a lot of the players. We go into that Everton game, and ultimately, the game was what I thought it would be. A very, very difficult game. Atmosphere will be on point for large parts of the game. Last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. And from a neutral standpoint, it answered all the calls of what it would be as a fixture. They score early on. Liverpool get straight back into it. And then the game kind of it's quite 50-50. They're playing their game, we're playing our game, but it's quite slow from us. And, we're trying to kind of kill off their momentum. But at the same time, there was no real incisiveness apart from, Salah's 2 moments with the goal and obviously the assist. Apart from that, we're just passing the ball sideways and backwards. And again, lacked a bit of creativity, not enough shots on goal. And Everton kind of just played the game they were going to play. Go very, very direct, in behind, long ball. And ultimately, look, we can get into it. We're probably going to discuss it. But the game wasn't really controlled by Michael Oliver. But I think we just got to do better as a team. And ultimately, we dropped points with Tarkowski wonder goal, reminiscent of Jagielka back in the day. So, look, it's not great. We wanted to win that game. But we're 7 points ahead. It's still on our hands, and ultimately, if we don't win the league, it will be down to Liverpool's performances and the mentality that they show. So, look, if we win the next couple games, then it looks like a good point. If we lose or drop points, on Sunday or in the next couple games, then that point looks a bit worse in hindsight. But look, we just got to keep it moving.
I don't think it's.
You sound like Virgil, by the way, when you said that.
Pardon?
You sound like Virgil when you said that at the end.
Oh, is it?
I don't think it's too, I don't want to look too deep into the Plymouth game, because ultimately we're probably not going to see that same starting 11 again. We should have won the game first and foremost. It's an unacceptable result. Not trying to soften the blow, but I feel like we were hard done by a decision in that game, because I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever jumped and thrown your leg up in the air, it's impossible to keep your hands behind your back or at your side. So I would deem that to be a natural position. Obviously, within the letter of the law, it's a handball. But my deeper issue is, well, then we need to define what a natural position is, because how can someone throw their legs in the air and not throw their arms in the air at the same time? Do you have any sort of understanding of physics and balance? Regardless,
like that.
at the end,
Mike,
regardless,
you sound
like starfish, Mike. I'm like, do you do it as if
regardless,
it was a and it come off his hand?
Listen, I'm just saying, his hand's like right here. He's throwing his leg up. Listen, regardless,
his hand's
at the very,
it's there.
It was a bit of a weird jump.
No, it wasn't. It was like up here. But listen. It's fine. We also had a chance at the end of the game. Darwin Núñez's header. If he's not there, that falls to Kwanzaa, and that is an easy header in. It's 1-1. It goes. We still had chances, but we just weren't on it. And they got the penalty, and that was the deciding factor. It is what it is. Sometimes these things happen.
Do you understand how stupid it is that we're sitting there going, the 99th minute header that's fell to our striker in the box?
100%. 100%.
It falls to the
but
centre back.
We also had other opportunities. In that game. And to me, it was just like one of those days where you just weren't going to find the back of the net. They had the penalty. It is what it is. I'm not going to look back on that in hindsight and say that Arne Slot shouldn't have rotated, because before that, everyone on the planet said that we should rotate. So just because we lost, I'm not going to switch my energy in hindsight 2020 and say, you know what, maybe we should have played Gravenberch, or maybe we should have played McAllister. And then with the Everton game, listen, to me, we only had 6 shots in 90 minutes. That's not great, right? It looked like we were playing a 4-2-4, similar to how we played against Brighton. And we were having a lot of difficulty breaking through their midfield because they were not pressing the ball carrier. I don't know if you guys noticed, but every time Virgil or Konate had the ball, it would be like Everton. Everton would close down the space, but they would never attempt to go at the ball. They weren't pressing. They were just pressing spaces. And they were like, you can keep it there because we know that I've got 3 more players behind me. I've got 3 players in front of me. And you guys only have 5. So I'm outnumbering you by 1 every time you try to cut through me. And even so, we were still able to create opportunities. Mo almost had a second goal, a brilliant shot, good save. But ultimately, for all the critiques that I have, and I hate doing this because I think that the referees have sucked for every team all season, but we cannot look past the fact that the first goal was not a foul, and the second goal was offside, was a foul, and it was too much time added on. Not to mention that if you had called the foul on Mo, that happened before the clash of heads, which means that it would have taken another 60 seconds for everyone to get set, because Mo was the only guy at the front edge of the box. Everyone would have dragged their ass walking, and the game would have been seen out because Trent would have kicked it over the bar. Then Pickford would have had to do a free kick, and by the time it went back up the field, it would have been 95 minutes. But regardless, I do agree with Jerry. We should not ever be sitting here saying that it's the referee's fault, because we're a much better team than Everton. We should not be struggling to get through their midfield for 60 minutes in a game.
I agree that we shouldn't, but unfortunately, by the way, guys, can we all please just wish Tyler Jones a happy birthday in the chat, because this is his birthday today. So please
happy birthday, Tyler.
Happy birthday,
we can't look past it, Usam. But at the same time, I want to be critical about the team.
We'll talk about football as well, but I do believe he genuinely cost us the game.
Yeah,
I rarely say that. The other thing that I'll say regarding passing out from the press, because Jerry mentioned it and you mentioned it, I think Everton did the job on Gravenberch, as much as he's been the best midfielder probably in the league this season.
Yeah, they were great.
I hope this is not like a Jorginho moment for Chelsea, where people will just man mark Gravenberch now and will be screwed playing the ball forward.
I don't think it's that simple.
I felt like instead of bringing on another striker, we should have brought on another midfielder and played the diamond.
Should have brought on Endo, 100%. That was a massive mistake.
I don't get that.
Jota was a mistake, but just when you're outnumbered, we've seen this year in the midfield, when we're getting pressed and Szoboszlai is up in that 4-2-4 style position and he's not dropping deep, we have problems transitioning from our end to the opposing end. And for a large spell of that game, we weren't creating anything, but neither were Everton. Everton were just getting a ball in a dangerous position, and then everyone got back, and it didn't turn into a shot. It was literally just going back and forth, no shots. But they also had more final third entries. I think at the end of the first half, they had 42 final third entries, and we had like 19, and we had like 65% possession.
Pumping the ball from the goalkeeper and pumping the ball from a free kick. Is that really a final?
We should have done better.
Or was that just?
We should have done better.
Yeah, I think they went long ball a lot. That's why that's
so much.
And I think that's something that Liverpool need to like before.
That's a problem.
Need to kind of sort out, because
it's a problem.
Ultimately, you are going to play teams, and the best teams, and I mean, we've seen it when Liverpool at their pomp, is teams will sit back, and it will make it difficult to break through the centre, and that's something that we struggled with under Klopp when we used to criticise Hendo by doing that first time cross to the back post, or when Trent used to spam the balls into the box because there was nothing on. Through the centre, we still struggle to go and play. Now, you could argue and say, yeah, the 4-2-4 doesn't work, but it only doesn't work because our centre-backs and our defenders do not play incisive passes. There's one player in that defence that does that, and that's Trent. Then we speak about it, that can go and find, in gaps, that can go and find. And ultimately, we've seen Virgil van Dijk do it sometimes, but as a defence, we don't do it often enough. And I've seen even like Brighton under De Zerbi have times where Dunk or Lewis Cole a couple of years ago just can fire it from the defense and split the midfield. If we had that against their 4, we would have had a lot more joy.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
Robbo used to be able to do that, by the way.
We then kind of go wide, but we don't really. We go wide because Salah and Diaz or whoever, or Gakpo are dropping really deep to kind of get the ball, and then you end up with not even a 4-2-4. It's like a 4-4-2 because you've got the striker and the one up front, but then they can't find anyone because they've just got a back 5 that just drop in. So I don't know. I just think on the ball, that's where you go back to the summer and you're like, oh, why did he want a Zubimendi? Kind of makes sense now. You know what I mean?
Can I just
Kmack,
can I just touch on the Can I just touch on the Plymouth game first? The Plymouth game was an interesting one because Gomez getting injured really screwed us, because we then had to move Endo into defence and we didn't have anyone to bring off the bench. And we've also found out now that Curtis Jones was ill, so he wasn't actually fit, so we couldn't really bring him off onto the pitch. So we had like a massive difference in our dynamics because we took our battling midfielder and had to put him in defence, and then we had nobody in midfield that was strong. Like James McConnell had a decent game, but then you're also playing with Trey Nyoni, who's like 17 and he's quite slight. He's not a guy that can get stuck in. And you've got Harvey Elliott, who just wanted to float around in the number 10 position when he really did need to be in midfield more. But he's not really a battler either. So we just lost the battle in midfield. But the weird thing in that game is we had better chances and we should have won. Like, I'm not really bothered that we didn't, to be honest, because Man City away wouldn't have been great. And it's more games to play. But we actually had the better chances in that game. And the fact that we had Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, Federico Chiesa, and Darwin Núñez on for the majority of the second half, you have to do better. I'm sorry. You have to do better. And there's a reason why we are looking at getting rid of a couple of those players. And it's obvious why, because they're just toothless. Like if you can't get on that left back or that right back, who is a championship player at best, and they're bottom of the championship and they've conceded over 60 goals, then what the hell are you doing? Like seriously? Like Luis Diaz should be all over that guy. Darwin Núñez should be all over that guy. Like it was.
I think the problem is Kmack, because I agree with it. I agree to it. But to that point though, this is what I'm saying is, in your head, you're thinking, and football's not like that. Oh, he's better, so he should be able to roast him. And 1v1,
he had the ball, mate. He had the ball.
What I'm saying is 1v1 when it was against those players, I saw it. He beat his player. The problem was the tactic was with Jota. It was beat 3, 4, 5 players, and you're looking at a player that's out of form as well, like we spoke about. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It doesn't matter.
It makes sense why we needed Zubimendi now. These last 2 games have proven exactly why we needed someone of that ilk.
Oh, hold on. I feel like that's a bit reactionary because
I think
even with how
Tyler
poor we
Morton
were
fit
against
would have helped,
Everton,
by the way. I think
we
having
scored
Tyler
2 fair
Morton fit
goals.
would have
They
helped.
scored 2 goals that should not have stood, and we
I'm
scored
with
2
you.
fair
I've
goals
already
on
said
with
Oliver robbed us.
no. But your point is we needed Zubamendi for these kinds of games when the team is pressing. But like objectively speaking, this team was pressing. We weren't playing well, and we should have won the game 2-0 if this was any other referee on the planet. It's that simple. So it's
Okay,
like
Mike,
the
I'll put
2
it to you
things
this
can be
way.
true at the same time.
What Everton did in the Merseyside derby, Atletico Madrid is going to do 100 times worse if we draw them in the Champions League.
100%.
When I'm talking about Zubamendi, we don't need Zubamendi to beat Wolves this Sunday. But we need Zubamendi in general, as in Gravenberch is having a bad game. We're unable to progress the ball. He would have been perfect for us to progress the ball. And I think with Arne Slot, he changed the game positively with his substitutions in terms of we got forward a bit more, but we never got that midfield control. And I hope you both now on the top row can acknowledge once for all the difference that Trent makes. Because Trent will give you that capability of playing out from a press with one ball, with one diagonal, that Conor Bradley doesn't in these situations. And these things don't show up on the stat sheet. They're not a stat sheet thing. They're just an eye test thing. Because you could see when he gets the ball like in a position where he's getting pressed, he doesn't just hoof it up the pitch. He will either diagonal it to a Liverpool player, he'll even play a long ball to a Liverpool player, play it in behind, or he will play interchange with his DM and keep the ball better. And that's the thing that me and Jerry were trying to explain on Friday regarding Trent. It's bigger than assist, goal, output, etc. It's a football style playing thing. So, and by the way, we got a bit of control when Trent inverted into midfield. Like for that 10 minutes period before we scored our goal, Trent inverted into midfield and he gave us an extra midfielder in midfield. And that's when we started to get a bit of control at least.
He also walked to Mykolenko. He also walked there.
I'm not going to lie. The Mykolenko one, I'm telling you now, as any player, if he just lumps it up in the air and it goes 50 meters in the air, I'm not looking at that being like, yeah.
Was it on the half volley?
It's not.
Was it on the half volley that cross?
Konate's just got to do better. And if he wins his header, we don't speak about it.
A clearance into the box. He's not shaped up for a corner. He's just went, the ball's bouncing, he's got someone close him down, let me just throw a leg up at it. And it's went up in the air, and Konate should have the header. I'm not. The back, he wins the header. It's not.
I'm not saying he should have blocked it, Tom. I'm not saying he should have blocked it, but go back and rewatch it from the second from the second Ashley Young crosses it. Soboslai presses what's his face. Trent is just walking, strolling. The ball bounces off of Soboslai's legs. It goes 40 miles an hour into Mykolenko's head, which is very fortunate. Lands right in front of him, and Trent is just again walking throughout that whole sequence. He's just walking. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he was bad.
But he's never going to dive into a tackle there, though.
Exactly. Whether he walks, runs, or crawls, or gets a wheelchair there, ultimately, he was there. Because if you had given Mykolenko space, he probably just hits a sidewinder volley or just tries to get into the box in a better fashion and he shapes up for a cross. Trent was right in front of him, hence why he just hoofed it up 50 meters into the air.
No,
which was just
it is not entirely his fault. Tsimikas also, was literally hugging O'Brien, vacating his space for Tarkowski to run into. Darwin Núñez wasn't tracking Tarkowski. Konate should have been stronger, even though he got fouled.
I'm not expecting Núñez to track Tarkowski all the way into our box either.
I'm just highlighting that he's not the only one who made an error. That's
the thing is, look, the part I disagree with about the analysis. Ryan Gravenberch didn't have his best game. It wasn't because he was man-marked out the game. Because he wasn't man-marked. Basically, Everton just had a box around him.
Yep.
So we know how Gravenberch wants to play. He wants to turn on the ball.
So
it was set up to where if he took a touch to face Van Dijk, imagine it. So Gravenberch's in the middle and he got 2-2. If Gravenberch took a touch and faced Van Dijk and Konate afterwards, one of those two jumps onto him.
Press. Yeah.
If he tried to do his turn, one of the back two would jump onto him. And they had that in a box. And what that meant was we couldn't progress through the middle in the way that we normally do, because what happens is Gravenberch turns on it, and then Gravenberch fires the pass into McAllister or Soboslai through the lines. That's why when Trent came on, I don't think Trent necessarily inverted, but what Trent done was because he definitely inverted. He inverted, but not. I don't think his creativity came from a typical inversion. It came from when he was running inside. I wouldn't say that he started in the middle to create. He started out wide, and because Everton was set up to stop us through the middle, if you've got someone who can create out wide in the area, they're not covering with the quality that Trent has, you're going to cause problems in the way that we did for the 15 minutes towards the back end of the game where he was on the pitch, because he was able to play these balls in behind the defence from a pocket where they weren't marking him. The way we... Obviously, if Trent had started the game, I don't think we would have had the same problems we had in the first half, because we would have identified that issue earlier.
I don't think he was fit enough.
Everton would have done it as well, and therefore the box that they had probably wouldn't have been as strong, because whoever was on the left, I think it was Beto, would have had to go out to Trent at the same time, and that opens up the gap in the box for Gravenberch to work with. Everton set up well. Everton always set up well at Goodison Park. This is their big game.
They've got a really small pitch. They know how to manage it.
It's a small pitch. It's a hell of an atmosphere. This is what they get up for, and I don't think we necessarily played badly. You know, I don't think. I think we went in there with the game plan. You were never going to play Everton off the park.
The only thing we were bad at is creativity, in my opinion.
But that's also a thing of Everton done well, and in a sense, we needed to get that crowd quiet, and we were never getting that crowd quiet because of Michael Oliver. So we spent too long trying to get a foothold in the game that we were never going to get because of the constant fouls and the constant situation when we couldn't build up a bit of momentum. It was only when we sort of sacrificed that, because the last 15-20 minutes were a bit pinball. But the crowd was a
dead
bit
silent. It was dead. After we scored that second goal, it was silent.
And that was where you had the control of the game. Ultimately, look, we say what we say about the referee, and we all know that was the main factor behind it. I don't think there was much more that could have been done. I do think the one mistake that was made was not bringing on Endo as the final sub, because Endo would have been the piece that just carried you over. But I also don't think it's a blueprint to beating us, because we found a way to break through it, and we were doing that. And I think the manager will identify a way to free up Gravenberch next time someone puts a box around him. He'll probably drop McAllister into... Because he took Gravenberch off in the 60th minute. McAllister was better at picking up space in that box, because they tried to win that box again. And McAllister... The one thing I'll say about Gravenberch, as good as he has been, he does like to take 1, 2, 3 touches. I don't really see Gravenberch being able to receive the ball and first time ping it out wide.
But that goes back to what Hassan was saying, is that when you go and look at, and that's why I don't think it's reaction. He's talking about having a Zubimendi in there.
Yeah,
you can see
wouldn't play.
Why Scott's first signing, major signing that he wanted, was that profile of midfielder. Because you had everything else. You've got the destroyer, and Endo had a decent season. And even when he's played this season, he's been fine. You've had Gravenberch that's had an outstanding, season as well.
But I also wouldn't be shocked if we don't sign that player.
Pardon?
I also wouldn't be shocked if we don't sign that player and we end up doing a thing where Gravenberch is the main guy in there, and in games like Everton, McAllister just drops in and we play a Jones Soboslai midfield.
Things change, but you can see where if the manager's principles are, I want this narrow back four when in possession because we want to invite the press on, and the team does that box, you need the Rodri, the Busquets, the Zubimendi type player that can, within that box, get the ball and it doesn't feel phased. Whereas going back to your point, when you look at Gravenberch, it's touch, but I need to go and get forwards. He's not someone that stands
because he's offensively minded.
We had a little combination in that 15 minutes just before and just after we scored, where Van Dijk passed to Konate push it into McAllister, and McAllister first time would play it into either Trent or Tsimikas, and it beat the press, and either Tsimikas would drive forward or Trent would try and play a switch over to Luis Diaz when he was on, or Diogo Jota, and that was how we were breaking the press. And what was ended up happening was we were winning throw-ins and we were winning 50-50 decisions on the sideline because we were able to get it up the pitch out wide, because we were able to break through that initial line of the press. What was happening when Gravenberch was on and Bradley was on was we ended up getting to a settled shape attacking wise, which was what Everton wanted, and there wasn't enough movement or there wasn't enough incisiveness from certain players to do it.
And risk, yeah.
And that was why in the first half, Salah was like playing right back at points. Salah was picking up the ball in positions you don't want Mohamed Salah to be picking the ball up in, just because it was the only way we were getting a little bit of space, because they were in that settled shape that they wanted to be in. I think it was a bit of a learning curve for Arne Slot. He came out of it pretty well. You know, other managers would struggle in that situation. Slot made the right subs, he adapted, and I think he'll learn a lot from that game, especially in terms of how teams can look to try and stop us, but I also don't think teams are going to be anywhere near as effective at doing that like Everton were at Goodison, because
Can I also
that's an
mention
extra
as well?
30% of a level for them.
Can I also mention as well that Everton should have had a guy sent off because of the way we played in our midfield and the fact that when we got the ball to Cody Gakpo, he actually had John Gay on toast, and he fouled him 3 times. And he
There
should have
was
had-
3
should have
reasons
had
to
2
send
yellow
off Idris
cards
Gana Gueye.
at least.
There were 3 reasons. Number 1, he kicked Gakpo. Number 2, he pulled his shirt. Number 3, he stopped a counter-attack.
Yeah.
3 reasons to send off a player, and he didn't get a yellow for either.
And that's what would have really helped us in that game, them being a man down, because they were knackered in the second half.
I know. Listen, I understand everyone's perspective on the panel, and I really do, and I really want to stock football as well.
It was
And look,
a
this
red
whole
card.
season, I've had games where like we could have said referee this, referee that, but look, I know that we don't want to be that fan base that talks about referees all the time, and we don't want to turn into the fan base that's like, oh, Liverpool got robbed and all that. I understand where everyone's coming from, but deep down, if you put a gun to my head right now and tell me, give me one reason why Liverpool dropped points, I'll say Michael Oliver is my top reason. And I'm not even trying to be like this, like, oh my God, the world against us, any of that. Like, I do believe the world is against us. I'm on Konate's side with that. But like, I do think that the game was taken away from us. I don't think that we had the possibility to do it. And Tom mentioned something. Look, Everton had 35% possession. The ball was in play for 54 minutes. Essentially, we fouled them once every 59 seconds. Now, unless our manager is Tony Pulis and we got Rory Delap in midfield, then I don't know how that's possibly like a thing where we fouled them so much. I watched a compilation of those fouls. The compilation of fouls not given against us, and it did kill the momentum of the game. And with Michael Oliver, I'll say something. Look, regardless of the decisions he made in the game, he was off refereeing games for a week after the Wolves Mice Lewis Skelly incident. Why do you bring him back and give him the Merseyside derby directly? Like, that's the thing that I was questioning as well. I'm like, listen, if you're going to bring back a referee that's been under scrutiny, give him like Palace Ipswich or something. Let him at least build his confidence up a little bit. Don't just give him the last Merseyside derby at Goodison. And you could see that he lost his shit and he was lacking confidence. Why? Because he gave a red card to Slot for an aggressive handshake. And I'm going to assume that Slot called him the TWAT word or the see you next Tuesday, whatever it is. That's still not red card worthy. I mean, like, whatever it is he said, like, you're sending him off for that.
I
type
think
thing.
that was,
So for
I
me,
think that was our assistants who called him a chunt.
No,
Yeah,
he,
and-
he walked up
and
to
it's the
him
same
and
with
he
our-
said,
with our
good game,
assistant.
twice. He said, good game. And he shook his hand aggressively.
yeah, that's still not red card worthy, whether it's sarcastic or not. So for me,
No,
I do believe the game was taken away from us, but that other 10%, like I say, it's 90% Michael Oliver. That 10%.
But Hussam, right? I hear
was
that.
us.
But from I don't know, the way I look at football, right? There's so many things that could have gone against Liverpool, right? We could have had a foul, an injury that didn't happen, they dived, right? But we were winning the game, right?
Yeah,
We're winning
yeah.
the game. Now, two points. The first goal, right? Yes, it wasn't a foul. And Dyer went and jumped
Oh, he
over
fell
and it
asleep.
shouldn't have been given. But you have an opportunity as a team, yeah, to set yourself and you are reading the play.
He was
For
offside. He
Beto,
was offside.
No, but listen, it wasn't.
The
lines-
lines,
the first
were drawn on Virgil's shoulder.
No, he's talking about the
Sorry,
first
on his
goal.
elbow.
No, but wait,
The
wait,
first goal.
wait.
First goal.
No, but wait. I don't care if he's offside, right? When I played, if I'm watching it and a man spins off me, right? And if you played at any other level, if there was no VAR, if there was no anything like that, everyone would go and be like, why didn't you watch your man? He just has to be switched on. If Konate is switched on, he clears the ball, and we're not talking about that. That's the
If
first
Allison
point.
is
We're not-
switch on, he saves it.
No, we're not. But,
Jerry,
the Konate
whose
one's the
fault
one.
do you think that goal is? Because I look at it and I think it's Virgil's fault because Beto
I think it's
starts on
Virgil's.
Virgil. I would rather, if I was
It's-
Konate, I would rather my centre back was early on the shout
Yeah,
of
I
he's
think it's
moving.
It's
Virgil.
both. No, it's both. It's both because again,
Virgil did play
I'm
him
naming
offside.
Konate for the
Privy-
first goal still.
No, exactly. But we're not privy to if Virgil passes him on. If Virgil's like Konate, right shoulder or right side, or look, he's coming, and Konate just reacts late. Then I look at Konate, but ultimately it's that defensive.
We're not going to know that. It's
Exactly.
just who says. But I
Exactly,
just
exactly.
look at that. To me, when Konate turns, he looks back and doesn't act. It's like a sort of half second of why the fuck's he there? To
Yeah.
me, it looks like he doesn't know the guys behind him. And for me, that's a case of the guy, either Alisson or Van Dijk. Because
Someone's
Alisson
got
can
to
see the
call it.
whole thing. And
They're just
and
watching
Van
it.
Dijk's
Someone
man.
that's
Someone's got
watching
to
on
go,
the line, 100%.
Ibu, man, right shoulder. And then he's going, right, okay, I'm onto it. Because Konate defends it like Alisson's coming out to pick it up. He's not on a full sprint. He's sort of like jogging, trying to shepherd it,
Yeah.
and then Beto's there. So I feel like it was a miscommunication which let us down big time.
You know,
Exactly. So for me, it's that. Go on. Sorry, go on.
I'm just listen. I'm going to hurt myself here because I've just bought some options on Trent, and I'm shorting Connor Bradley. But if you rewatch that play, if Connor Bradley was turned on and he wasn't 2 yards off of Konate, it would have been offside because he is the one who was playing behind the line, walking forward, not prepared for the kick to happen yet.
Yeah.
And he is who keeps him on. Because I remember rewatching the replay, and I'm like, wait, he's past Konate and he's past Virgil. That's offside. And then I look at the bottom of the screen.
They draw the line off Virgil. They draw the line off Virgil. Not,
no,
not
I'm
Bradley.
talking about the yes, the players do, but Connor Bradley's walking up.
Yeah, Connor
He's
Bradley
not-
walking on that keeps him
because
on, yeah.
because he isn't prepared. But to be fair, it was kicked early. But I have begun to short and I have begun to buy options.
And you know, we've seen it so many times. I've seen teams try and play a short corner before, and it just gets swept up by Konate, and we're on a counter attack, and we don't even think about that whole play. So that's the first point. The second point is with the second goal, right? Is again when that ball's in, right? And I've seen Virgil van Dijk do it. We've seen like at Liverpool, Carragher, whoever, right? They are not allowing, right? You're not in the middle of the pitch where you can afford to kind of flop and be like, oh, I've been pushed, right? Konate has to be solid and he has to fight to win that header. If he wins that header, the chance doesn't come in.
The only
But
part I
Jay, he
disagree with
actually
there.
tried to win that though, bro, and he nudges him.
It's a
No,
foul.
but that I'm telling you now, the reason why I disagree with that, right? Because Konate's reaction wasn't to the ref, oh my God, I got fouled. He dropped to his knees like, oh my God. Because I believe he himself thought, have I missed that header? It wasn't that push from Beto, it's a nudge. But Konate, look at this. I've seen him battle with Beto 5 minutes earlier, right? And get worse of a push and be tugged, and he wins his header. And ultimately, if he wins his header,
Yeah, but it's still the foul though, regardless.
difference to me,
I also think he mistimed it. To be fair, like,
Guys, listen. Before I do want us to look forward to Wolves a little bit and talk about the Gakpo injury. So let's just get Endz's opinion on this because he's been silent for 49 minutes.
I was listening to you guys' opinion, man. But no, I disagree.
Bro, Mo
man.
Salah
It's
sounds
still-
different.
It's still a foul. It's
I don't
still a
think
foul.
it's
He
a
jumps
foul.
up to go and win it, and the player he's not going for the ball. He runs into Konate. Whether or not it's soft, whatever it is, it's a foul. But anywhere else on the pitch, you give that. It doesn't matter. You don't want the player to be screaming ref. You don't want the player to be falling over and rolling around. Just give the foul, bro. If he doesn't touch him, he wins it.
If that was I'm telling you now, if that was the
goes
flip
in
side,
like that.
if that happened and Liverpool went and scored a last minute winner at Goodison, right, and that got given a foul, we wouldn't be like, you know what? Yeah,
It was
man.
soft.
Yeah, you know what? It was a foul.
but it was offside.
Well,
If we're going to point at anything, if you're going to point at anything, point at the fact that the way that they do the math in VAR for offsides is objectively wrong. It's that simple. Be mad at that because Konate, listen, when I rewatch that, does his body shape go into like a triangle? Yeah. But at the same time, I also think that he jumped half a second early. Like when I really rewatch it and I look at it, I go, okay, he doesn't extend his arms. So that's why Michael Oliver doesn't think anything because Beto's arms never extend. It's this, right? It's very slight, but he mistimes it. If he doesn't mistime it, he's strong enough to take that push and get ahead on the ball. And all he needed to do was get it. But it was offside.
Even
was
the
offside.
VAR guys,
The only
reason why they
reason he
didn't give it
misses
is
that
because he
ball-
didn't call for it.
The
That's why
only
they didn't
reason
give
he
it.
misses that ball is because when he is pushed, he is in the air. I would get
Yeah, he
Jerry's point if Konate's on the ground and he's pushed when he's on the ground and he's stable, but Ibu's already in the air when the nudge comes in, so he's got no way of being strong. You can't just reject a push mid-air.
Oh, you got that video. This video shows you.
So he had it. There,
He's
Ibu's
already
already
shoved.
mid-jump.
It's too, but that's my point. He's jumped.
He's
Look,
already
he's getting
shoving.
shoved while he's in the air. It
He's
pushes
jumped
him
way
off.
too early, but
Can't
he's
win the
jumped way
ball.
too early.
And you know what pisses me off the most about that clip is look
Oliver's
where Michael
watching it.
Oliver is.
He's literally stood there watching it.
Yeah, but you can.
How much of a bum
It's a
loser
contact
is he?
sport.
to be?
Listen,
No,
I'm
it's
gonna
not
shoot
boxing.
myself in the
Like
foot
Okay,
here.
here's the thing. One second, guys. Let's not just all shout. Jerry,
His
you're
arms are
100%
like this.
correct. 1 second, guys.
He
Kmack,
jumps
relax.
early. He jumps.
You're
early.
100% correct. It's a contact sport. And in any other scenario, I'd agree with you. However, the way that Michael Oliver refed the game all the way throughout is the reason why this is a foul. Because it was a contact sport when Robertson done this to Idris Gana and he fell down. Why did he give a foul over
No,
there?
I agree.
So my
No,
point
no,
is just
that-
given how he refed the game, it's a foul.
No, on that point it is, but I can't, as a player, I can't look at it and be like, well, he gave that as a, like, I would guess, great example. If I was playing and the midfielder went and crunched one of our players and we thought it was a foul and the ref didn't give it, I'm not a bozo. I'm not going to be like, next player to come, I'm going to crunch him. Because guess what? 9 times out of 10, I do that and I'm the one that's going to get a yellow card or better yet sent off because of whatever. We've seen that happen before. We're looking at this particular instance. Yes, Michael Oliver was trashing the game. I agree. But we've got to look at it within ourselves and be like, how did we allow in the last moments a team to come back into the game? It wasn't
and that's the perfect way to end off this whole debate, which is from now to the end of the season, the onus is on us to make sure that the ref does not play a part in this game because we're too good. And it's as simple as
Leave
that.
no
Because
doubt.
Exactly, leave no doubt. Because if we want to rely on VAR or rely on referees, it's going to be a long ass season. Let me just do these super chats before we move on to the Wolves game. We're going to talk about the Gakpo injury as well. Guys, this is Friday night. Tom Little joined us on a special. Endz is here even without a camera. We have 800 people here and we're not even at 200 likes yet. Hit the like button, you frauds. Close your live chat and hit the like button. Tom Little is here and you don't have even liked the video. Like it for Tom at least. Fucking hell. Big up to JB who says 3 wins in 11 games. Their hot start is why they are in 12th right now. Form has them worse than United since December. Don't gaslight us and say nothing is wrong at Chelsea, is what JB is saying. I hear you. Listen, Chelsea are crap right now. I genuinely am pissed off with myself because I knew I should have just stuck to my guns. And if I stuck to my guns, I would have dragged my nuts all over that Chelsea fan base. Let me tell you right now, they would ruin their life.
Because everything you were saying about them before that game has come true. Like it was going.
It's come true. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I should have just stuck to my guns, honestly. I'll follow only one Arsenal account, yet my entire timeline is 90% full of Arsenal fans complaining about something like it's a rat infestation. Momentum. And speaking of momentum, thank you, BIG, for the super chat. Perfect segue here to talk about the game. As I said, guys, like the video and subscribe. And listen, everyone's channel is in the description. Jerry James Show, Football with Endz, Mike Das LFC, Kmack channel. Jamie's channel is also in the description. Go show him love. And Tom Little's channel is also in the description. So let's just look ahead now. Forget what's gone is gone. It's over now. There's no need for us to just keep talking about it. We all know Michael Oliver will see you next Tuesday anyway. I'm sure you guys all saw my rant.
No. The whole PGMOL. Don't just.
Yes.
It's not just one. It's everyone.
I'm sure you guys all saw my rant. People trying to get me cancelled for it, but it's not cancelled.
It was brilliant.
Anyway, Wolves. Endz, we'll start off with you since you want red carpet to speak. Gakpo's injured, and we play Wolves this Sunday. Talk to me, brother.
Well, I don't know if he's injured. He said he had a knock. They had the day off yesterday, and they obviously in training today, so he'll just assess him and see how he is. He said he was just a contact, so fingers crossed he's not injured. Maybe he doesn't start though. I think he'll ideally be on the bench. But when you guys were talking about the other teams, about how we played against Everton, I'm not bringing it back to that game, but I'm looking at when we play against teams that are physical, we seem to just falter at that. When Man United did it against us, Forest did it twice against us, Plymouth did it against us, and even Everton now, they've done it against us. So I'm looking at this Wolves game, and they're probably going to do the same thing. They're probably going to take a leaf out of Everton's book and go, right, okay, that's how these guys got some, got a point off of them. Let's try and do the same thing as well. The benefit is obviously we're at home, so that should kind of help us negate some of the issues we might have in the game. But it looks like the manager might be missing this one. I think that the charges have gone through.
He's here for this one. But
is it this one that missed the other ones? Jones, we're going to miss.
Basically, Jones misses this one. Arnie Slot it's also to do with like the appeals process and stuff. Basically, Arnie Slot has until Wednesday to appeal. I think I saw it on Twitter. if he appeals on Wednesday at the latest possible opportunity, he can manage the game on Wednesday as well.
Okay.
And depending on how quickly that appeal goes through, because then it goes to a fucking other thing, he could manage the City game. But then the moment the moment the punishment is dished out, the moment they announce it, he misses 2 games from then. He's there for Sunday. But
he'll be better off. He'll be better off just accepting
this one, isn't it? But look, we're gonna be missing. Curtis Jones is going to be probably the main one. Curtis Jones is the one that I think that we're going to probably miss in this one, because obviously when he offers that level of control when we need it in the games as well. So then you're going to have to look for guys like Wataru off the bench. You're going to have to then probably bring maybe one of the youngsters now on the bench as well to fill the gap for this game in particular.
No,
I think they're going to do the exact same thing. Say that again, Tom.
Chiesa can finally make a Premier League matchday squad. He's not been able to make it recently.
I doubt he's gonna play, man. The manager doesn't want to use him. But look, I think we need to figure out a way to play against these teams that's going to be a lot more physical on us. We've played everyone once now. So when we were speaking earlier about maybe the teams haven't figured us out, I think some of them have. And I think some of them have found a way to maybe not beat us, but they found a way to get a result. And they found a way to make it difficult for us. And we have to negate that now and fight. We have to change it. You guys are right. I don't think the 4-2-4 works. I think we need to go back to having that box midfield again, where we can isolate and maybe just have a double pivot.
I don't want to see Trent inverting. I don't
No,
know.
but the thing is, look,
Trent doesn't have to invert.
We don't have to, but we tried something at the start of the season. We've played half the games already.
How does that become a box?
And it's worked, right? But now we need to adjust it and try something different, because we can't just keep going into games.
I just think the adjustment needs to be what we done. Who remembers that run of games we had at late October, just after we played Chelsea, and it lasted for about 2-3 weeks, where Jota got injured, so Nunes was starting every game, and we effectively just played a really big 4-1-4-1. Gravenberch was sat alone at DM, and McAllister and Szoboszlai, or Jones and Szoboszlai, or whoever it was. It was a 4-1-4-1, and we had an actual structured press in the sense of it was symmetrical. Right now we run this weird asymmetric thing where Gakpo was in the line with McAllister and Gravenberch, and Diaz and Szoboszlai and Salah on their own separate line. So there's just effectively this fucking diagonal line through us, which teams can cut through if they want to.
I think the problem you've got is, look, Slot just doesn't trust Nunes, isn't it?
I don't think Slot trusts any of the forwards. I don't think he trusts
Jota or Diaz. Do you know what it is? Nunes. No, I don't think he trusts Nunes. I don't think he trusts them in terms of scoring 50, 60 goals. No, but he doesn't trust Nunes even in build-up. Hence why we've got Szoboszlai on. It was Jones before that, playing on the last man, making runs in behind, because you've got someone else that needs to come short, because that's not their game. Hence why we've got
but Jerry,
that's not what we did in the Spurs game. Nunes was massively helping in the build-up in the Spurs game. Yeah, and then we had the Plymouth one after that, and he didn't start.
Yeah, you can argue that he was helping in build-up, and that's fine. And you're playing against a team that, again, is gung-ho. They're going for it, so there's space to go and attack in transition. When a team sits back, right, we have... When Nunes is playing, he's just not going to be effective. When we know that, right? We know that, and we know he's not going to score.
Diaz hasn't been effective against teams.
Yeah, we don't
either.
That's my point. Is that he's looking at it thinking Diaz is our form. I still prefer him, and it's funny because he played against Plymouth. You would have thought, right? You played X amount of games, then you played against Plymouth.
You would have thought Nunes gets a start because he didn't start Plymouth. For me, I just think it's a Nunes. We have a chasm at times up front when Diaz plays because he vacates the area and Gakpo doesn't want to go there. So we saw it against Everton especially. There's times where Konaté's on the ball in their half and our team's set up in a U. Yep. Everyone's just in a U and there's no one near the box. The one thing I'll give Nunes, and there's a lot of things you can moan about, but the one thing I'll give him is he's at least a focal point that we can fire something into and build off of. Even if he doesn't bring it down well and lay it off, it'll bounce and we'll get the ball in some central progression.
It'll bounce, like a wall.
I think we're over-exaggerating it. I think we're over-exaggerating it. Look, it's not about defending whatever, but I'm with Tom with I don't think none of the nines are working. I think on the slot is second-guessing himself now who to play through the middle. And I think that's where we've come unstuck, especially since the turn of the year. because he keeps trying to, let's go Diaz, let's try Jota, let's try Nunes. And there's no settled person that he's put there. Both strikers are fit. Play one of them. If Jota is the one you tell me that you trust and he's the better finisher, why is he not starting then? It makes no sense.
The thing is, okay,
you guys, he doesn't trust any of the guys there. He doesn't trust Jota, any of the forwards.
If he plays Jota, we start to have patterns.
And he's second guessing himself.
We start to have patterns of play up front if he plays Jota, because he's a structural player and works functionally in the team.
If Jota breaks down, right? If Jota breaks down again, he's out for the season. Let's just keep it.
At least we know. Like,
but
that's it.
So far, in this conversation, what I'm hearing is like a top-down analysis, right? Like, we're starting at the forward line and then we're going down to the midfield. To me, the issues that I've seen when we run this 4-2-4 is from the bottom up. Like, when Mo ghosts in a game or Cody ghosts in a game, I'm not sitting to myself thinking, why is he not beating his man? I'm sitting to myself thinking, why is he so isolated with zero help? Why are we having difficulty getting through the midfield to then find and create space? Now, could that be because he doesn't trust the number 9, like you're saying, Jerry? Therefore, Szoboszlai has to occupy that space because he doesn't trust Diaz or Jota or Nunes, whether it be stay healthy or link up play or finish. Right. But here's the thing. It's not working, right? Szoboszlai doing that and occupying that job, it's not working. And to Enz's point, against Spurs were not playing expansive football. If you go back and you watch that Carabao Cup game, they were sitting back. They were playing in a low block. Their counterattacks were 2 players, Kulusevski and Richarlison. And then when Matthias Tell came on, it was them too. There was never more than 3 guys attacking us while the game was 0-0. And we were being effective because Szoboszlai wasn't up there. Szoboszlai was in the midfield. We weren't playing a 4-2-4. We were playing a 4-3-3. There was cohesiveness. We were able to glide through them, right, and create space and create little chances here and little chances there. He scores the offside goal. Brilliant, right? All of a sudden, we figured it out. We're like, okay, one was offside. That's fine. Let's keep going. I just think that right now, the 4-2-4 to play against these teams that are playing aggressively, because that's been the consistency, right? It was like that against Newcastle. It was like that against Brighton. It's not working. And we've reached that point in the season where you need to try to do something else. I don't think that playing Diaz is smart because outside of the Leverkusen game, I don't see how he affects us in that number 9 role. If Cody Gakpo is hurt, it is what it is. If he can't play against Spurs, then you have to play Luis Diaz, right? But right now, Darwin Núñez is the only one who can consistently stay healthy and can, at least give me a chance at doing a good job in that position, because the sample size for Luis Diaz is 1 game and the sample size for Darwin Núñez is, okay, he's not scoring, but I can point to multiple different games in which he is effectively helping us create space. He's helping us build up. He's helping us do things. But everyone wants to view a number 9 as this goal scoring machine. He's not that. I understand. I just think that we're at a limit of options.
We don't have 100%. The striker to play the way Slot wants to 100% play it. So we've got to make a compromise and go, what striker can give us the best middle ground? He can do a little bit of what Slot wants. Occasionally, Darwin Núñez looks really controlled in build-up. Sometimes he looks like he's got 2 left feet, but sometimes I'll see him bring it down, beat a man, and play a good pass out wide. But there's also, and you saw it after the Brentford game, there was a couple games where we just need to use the in-behind ball. Against Tottenham, he won the penalty from it. Against Lille, he made the run which dragged the player away, which created the space for Mohamed Salah. We need to make the compromise there. In terms of the, does the 4-2-4 whatever work? It works at points, but I feel that the big problem we've got is the fact that Diaz cannot do anything out in games. He's not affecting games properly. So what ends up happening is you're not playing a 4-2-4. You're playing a 4-2-3. And Szoboszlai ends up trying to do 2 players' jobs because Diaz can't get into the game, so he's trying to do here, there, and everywhere. He struggles to get consistency in a game, and then all of a sudden, we end up with just an X shape where you can't really get anything going. That's why I think that Núñez comes in, you see an instant improvement, because what that means is McAllister can push up a bit higher, and we can almost have it be a 4-man line waiting to pick up knockdowns or layoffs from Núñez. Diaz doesn't even lay the ball off. The one time he got the ball against Everton in an area where I want my false 9 to get the ball, and turn on it and create. He runs back towards his own goal for 5 seconds, turns around and tries to beat 3 men and then foul someone because he lost the ball.
Yeah.
In reality, what I want my strikers to do there, bring it down, turn, and drive forward into a 3v4, and maybe you can create something there. Not what Diaz done, not what Diaz has been doing. I understand that none of the striking options we've got suit Arnie Slot, and that's why I think that there'll be a major striker overhaul this season, and why I think, on the Wolves point, if you watch the press conference today, he made a big point of singling out Matheus Cunha. That is the kind of striker that Arnie Slot wants. A guy who can do both. A guy who can, if needs be, drop deep, link up, or a guy who can, if needs be.
I think we watched our future striker today.
He also
Stop
plays
saying
in
Joao
every
Pedro,
position.
man. We're not buying Joao Pedro.
I am fully convinced Joao Pedro will be a Liverpool player.
To be fair, though, is that
I'd
it was
rather have
the
Rusev.
guy, the
I'd rather
guy
have
that
Rusev.
was asking the questions asked about Cunha. He didn't actually mention him as like, oh yeah, that's the guy.
I agree.
Rusev is more like of
it
a
wasn't
number
brought
10.
out the blue. But he also didn't need to say, oh yeah, Matheus Cunha's got the quality to play for any of the top 5 teams in the Premier League.
No, I hear you. Let me just say one thing. First of all, big up to Ed who says, didn't assistant manager get red too? He did. He's
Yeah.
also.
Johnny hating his
I want to
mighty red
address
people.
this from Nag's games. He says Diaz just plays as false 9 without the 9. Man's just false. Shit is so annoying. And listen, look, guys, you know, all the Liverpool shows, all the Hussam X Tom X Kopish shows, everything that we've done together, everything that you guys have watched across the season. Listen, I know that to the point I'm about to make, I do speak for everyone, like on the panel and every single Liverpool fan. I'm at that point of the season now. I'm at that time of the season where I don't give a fuck if it's Andy Robertson getting GA. I don't care whoever it is getting output. We just need to get over the line. And this Sunday, if Gakpo is indeed a doubt and he can't play because he scored like 10 Anfield games in a row, so obviously he's been in phenomenal form, Cody Gakpo. I don't care if it's Diaz, Nunes, Jota, Chiesa, Harvey Elliott. I don't care. We just need someone to step up in that game alongside the players that always step up. And, you know, Diaz will probably start this Sunday. And this is reality. I don't know if Nunes will or Jota. I'm unsure. But whichever one like starts, they need to show up. Because now we're at that position and at that time in the season where if you don't deliver, the cooking, the criticism, the conversations will be 100 times worse. I mean, and we saw it even with Mo as an example. Even though he's a Premier League legend, a club legend, an all-time legend, people criticize how he's played in the second half of the season, like previously in previous seasons before. And if Mo can get that sort of criticism, then you bet your ass Diaz, Nunes, Jota, whoever it is, will also get that criticism. For me, in this conversation,
I just want a Diaz GA in 2025. We're 10 games in and I've got no goals, no assists, no big chances created from him.
Yeah, Diaz left his best football in 2024. I do agree with that, except the Bournemouth game. I really liked his performance in the Bournemouth game. But anyway, look, I don't want to specifically make this about Diaz because I think the conversation is a bit bigger. Mo needs a running mate. And I've been saying this all season long. And he had his running mate with Gakpo for a good period of time. He had his running mate with Diaz for a good period of time. And if someone else is going to step up or one of them is going to step up again, I mean, we all know Diaz's football comes in purple patches. If he wants to have a purple patch from now to the March international break, I'm down, bro. Listen, run me a purple patch. If it's Jota who wants to score like 5 games in a row, let's go. Because the big picture here is we need to win the league title. We need to end the season with us lifting number 20. And the only way that we end up lifting number 20 if his players step up. Because, listen, in the next 4 games, 5 games, 6 games, whatever it is, Mo will have a bad game at some point in time. Yeah. Like, he is going to have 1 bad game out of the 6, which is normal, you know? And in the game that he has that's going to be a bad game, someone else need to be informed to step up and deliver. That's just the reality of the situation. I thought Cody done that for a major part of the season. If you tell me right now, who do I trust like second most after Mo, it's probably Cody. But of course, Jota has very high important moments for us, you know, and he's someone else that I can trust until he gets injured. So, like, I'm just looking at this team right now, and we just need someone to step up. And regardless who it is, and I know the guys agree as well, regardless who it is, it's not the time to argue oh my god, this guy didn't step up, that guy didn't step up, blah blah blah. We just don't have time for this shit, bro. We just need all of them to step up. We need all of them to cook. We need all of them to perform. And if they all perform on the level expected and the level required, we will end up delivering the league title. And I think this run, like obviously we're here to talk specifically about the Wolves game and stuff. I understand that. But this run that we have for the next like 4 games, bro, this is the most difficult run.
12 points.
Yeah, we need 4 wins from 4. And we can't expect teams to give us favors or whatever it is. Like we just need to get the job done.
I think we get 12 points. I really do. I think
having those away games helps us, by the way, because teams play with more freedom when they're at home.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and that does help us.
If you look at Aston Villa wanted the game moved. Aston Villa wanted the game moved from Wednesday, so they don't want to play it.
Slot is losing his hairline even though he doesn't have any as well. Watching him, you see Slot's reaction at Goodison to Robertson. He's like, just drops to the ground. I'm like, bro, oh god, I don't even know what to say, man.
But Villa don't want to play the game on Wednesday. I'll get the feeling they're going to rotate quite heavily. Then you've got City away. I know City away in the past has been a tough game. I don't think there is a team who have the profiles more suited to destroy City away from home than us in terms of the profiles that we have.
3 days before.
Yep. They've also got that to contend with.
We've also lost Akanji now. He's gone.
So Mateus Nunes is guaranteed at right back as well. Already played John Stones at right back. So again, pieces fall into place there. And then you've got Newcastle at home. That's probably the toughest game of the lot. But I do also think that, we mentioned earlier.
It's a Wednesday night, by the way, under the lights.
I think that's a game where the
disagree. I think Newcastle is not the toughest game out of those.
Newcastle are the team in the best form. Newcastle are the team.
Yeah, but Newcastle is the team that we always beat at Anfield. Like we literally always do. Even when we were bad. We have a very good record against them at Anfield. And as Kmack pointed out, it's on a Wednesday night. Yeah, but the one that worries me is Etihad. Because we haven't won there, even under Klopp against Pep in the Premier League.
Hassam, you can't.
I know they're really bad, but even when we were bad, they didn't beat us at Anfield. You get what I'm saying? I'm just bringing up fair points. I'm even saying
historically speaking, Hussam is correct.
We need Slot to be on the touchline for that game. By the way, he can't be having him banned for that game.
I guarantee you that if there's one game he's missing, it's Etihad. That's why he waited until the last possible moment to punish him today. So Johnny Heitinger's Mighty Reds will be there for the Etihad.
Oh, remember, there's also the possibility that he doesn't get banned because they haven't even confirmed the ban yet. They pretty much said that we don't know if he's going to be.
They put 2 games on the website. I'm pretty sure it's 2 games.
They're going to ban him. They're going to ban him.
They put it on their website by accident. Accidentally
on purpose. I thought that City game, knowing Liverpool's luck, that's the game that City decide to turn it on. It's going to be a
we need Slot on the.
It's just like with the Everton game, we were just thinking, oh look, I mean, we're probably going to go and it's going to be tough, but we win it. And somehow it's harder than we think. I think City. I mean, they might just put all that.
Can he not walkie-talkie from the stands?
Yes.
Is that illegal?
Arne Slot will be in the stand for that City game.
He'll be there.
But for me, the difference between Everton and City, we never play well at Everton. We never play well.
I mean, we're just drawn there constantly for
we draw
10 years.
But a lot of the time we draw, it's a case of we kind of got away with one there. There's very few games I've seen us go to Goodison and really put our foot on their neck. Whereas at the Etihad, I've seen us go to the Etihad and be the better team more times than not. And in terms of a historical context, I just don't think that same thing is there as it is with Everton. There's not the same fight and not the same stakes on this game as there was for Everton. This was the last ever derby at Goodison. They could not lose that game. For City, this is just that they could be coming off the low of being knocked out the Champions League in the playoff round. It's 2 vastly different situations. I feel like if you're asking me out of these next 4 games, which the toughest is, it's Newcastle because Newcastle away from home get to play the football they want to play.
Exactly, yeah, it's true.
They want to sit and wait for us to come out and counter with Isak and Gordon and Murphy with quick breaks. It's on us to be the guys who break them down. When you're going away from home, I think that there's a reason we've been the best away side in the league this year because our manager is great at game state, bar when he has to bring Endo on. He's really good at game state. He's really good at knowing when to put the foot on the pedal and box a team in. And he's really good at knowing when to ease off, drop 5, invite them on, sustain a bit of pressure, and then keep working on the counter. We can play that way against Villa and City away from home.
Can I also tell you 2 of the games that Newcastle have got before us? They've got Man City away and they've got Nottingham Forest at home.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, with any luck, they might, they might not do too
They'll
well.
have to rotate. I think all the teams in this period, that period there, that's why Villa wants to move that game, don't they?
Yeah.
They want to move it.
But it makes no sense why they've asked to move it, though, because they've asked to move it in the middle of an international break when no one's going to have the fucking players there anyway.
Maybe they didn't check the dates properly.
They want us to do a fucking League Cup 2019 again, where we have to play fucking Tom Hill and Sepp van den Berg and all the kids because all our players are off on international.
Well, they're also riddled with injuries.
A lot of these teams have to rotate their squads as well, because even though we're looking at our games, they have to. So everyone's playing the same time we are around there.
Catch us later, man. All right, peace.
Yeah, everyone's playing the same time as us.
Sunday, though?
Worried?
Do you want me to add to your Woody Hassan? They've got a Portuguese manager.
Listen, I think that here's the thing. When it comes to this Sunday, the way that I view it, and the way that I understand that you guys view it, is a lot of people are looking at the result against Everton, and they're like, "Damn, like this is a momentum killer, right? Like we should have won that game. The referee cucked us. XYZ, whatever. The opposite end of that coin, which is the coin that which is the side that I'm choosing to observe and look at and relate with, is despite all of that, we should use it to galvanize us because we should have won that game. The referees did cuck us. The world was against us, but we still were the better team. We should have won, even in that difficult scenario. Go forward, use this as an opportunity to essentially flip off the whole world. Be like, we can do this, right? And when this team plays angry, this team plays incredibly well, i.e. Spurs. Clearly, they were furious that they lost against Spurs away 1-0. So they come back and they absolutely batter them, right? I think it's just use that game as an opportunity to galvanize yourself, create the momentum when there is no momentum there, and then one game at a time from that point on. I mean, our worst form this season has come at home, but like at the end of the day, this is Wolves, right? They're not as physical of a team as a Newcastle. They're not as physical as Everton. Their average height is not 6'3", right? They do not have a bunch of boxers who are.
And before we're 4-0 up at halftime, like
they were, dude. O'Brien. I'll be honest with you. O'Brien is 6'6". Their right back was 6'6". Like, guys, we have to realize that at certain points you need to stop drawing like the dots together. Like this is Wolves at home, right? Use that Everton game. Everyone should be pissed off. Everyone should be furious. Everyone should be saying, I'm never going to allow a referee to cuck me like that again. I will make sure that I will be up by 2 when you decide to cuck me, right? I really do think that they will use this as an opportunity to galvanize. I think it's an opportunity for Slot to show us who he really is come, the last road of the season. We got 14 games left. And at the end of the day, our biggest challenger has all of their fans on the internet every single day doing an emergency stream because something new has gone wrong, right? And they have to be perfect. Like that's another thing, right? We're not in a season where 92 points is going to win the league. We're in a season where like 85 will probably end up winning it. 86.
Mike, I see this game going 2 different scenarios. One, either the game starts and it's fucking difficult from the beginning. They were struggling like straight out the bat. And they're like parking the bus and blah, 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 which we already know they're going to do anyway because they're fighting for their life. Or 2, we come out and like within 30 minutes, we're 3-0 up. Like dead ass. Guys.
I don't think it's going to be like
Mike,
that.
I hate saying Mike is right. But if they use
appreciate you.
If they use that result to galvanize them and the team and the squad, I see Mike's scenario. like creating a siege mentality of us against the world could help us win this game. I'll be honest with you. Let me ask all of you guys a question to close it out. Who's the third player? Who's no, not third player. Who's the front three? Who's the two alongside Mo?
Nunes and Diaz.
Yeah, but if Gakpo's available, Nunes and Gakpo. That's simple.
No, Gakpo's not available for this game. Let's assume. Obviously, that's the
Okay.
premise.
If he's not available, then Nunes and Diaz. We don't have another option. Like Jerry said, he's a bag of glass. I need to ensure that he has at least 15 steroid injections in both knees before he plays a full 90 minutes. I'm not having it.
Can I say something crazy? I'm gonna go Mo on the right,
He's gonna say Chiesa here.
Nunes on the left, and Jota down the middle.
Nunes on the left. That's worse than Chiesa.
I'm just going. You know what I'm going with? I'm going with 3 direct shooters. Deadass.
I don't mind that front three, but it's got to be Jota.
I just want 3 players who just cut and shoot directly.
Listen,
it's got to be Jota off the left if you're doing that front three. I mean, I don't know what. I hate any left wing option that we've got that isn't Gakpo at the minute. So
I really expect Jota to start Sunday. I don't know what it is, but I genuinely expect it.
Let's do.
But why are we acting like it's impossible for him to start Jota? He trusts
we don't
Jota.
need more goals from the front line. We need goals from midfield. Like, to be honest with you, the difference maker will be McAllister and Szoboszlai getting up there.
Mike, I need goals from my front line. My striking options have 4 goals each. I need more goals from my front line.
Yeah, but we're still top of the. Aren't we leading the league in goals?
So then why do we need more goals from midfield if we're leading the league? We should just keep it as it is.
Because you're talking about.
If I'm asking for positions to start scoring, it's my striker.
Okay, but one of my strikers is made out of glass. The other striker isn't a striker. And the third striker can't hit the broadside of a barn door from 5 feet away, right? So, to me, I have one midfielder who's probably the most technical striker of the ball on the team, and I got another midfielder who's amazing at finding pockets of space. The issue is that we are having a problem as a team consistently getting them in those positions.
I don't think
one of those positions better
to do what Everton did.
I'm just presenting options.
I think your front three should be Salah on the right, Jota on the left, Nunes up front. What I think he'll do is Salah.
I think Nunes Diaz is a bad combination. I'll be honest with you. I don't like that.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Like it either need to be Nunes on the bench or Diaz on the bench. Both together just doesn't work.
It's two players with crap IQ, so they end up just rushing everything and panicking over everything and doing this wrong, making the wrong decisions, and they panic each other. At least if you play, Gakpo and Salah, there's composure there, so you can negate the third one being a bit sort of wah. If you play 2 of them together, you're fucked. That's why I think you've got to do Salah and Jota on the wings. It was a front three that we played last year against. I can't remember who it was. We won 3-0 at home.
I don't like to me, Jota. When he has been in this season and he's been healthy, he still hasn't been a good player. He's had moments, but for the majority of the time where he's on the pitch, I sit there thinking to myself, why does he make every wrong decision?
Mike, I don't disagree, but I've been offered 3 bags of shit, and I've got to use 2 of them to fill the front line.
Yes,
I might as well use the bag of shit.
One of those bag of shits has done things to create goals. He just doesn't get it represented on GA, right? So, at least I know that he's not the one scoring or assisting.
When was the last time?
All I'm just saying is the Nunes-Diaz combo doesn't work together.
No, I'm talking about Nunes, not Diaz. I'm talking about Nunes.
I'm saying them as a combination. It just doesn't work for me. I need one out, one in.
Everyone's playing Nunes here. Nunes starts on the weekend. It's the debate is between, do you do Diaz on the left or do you do Jota on the left?
I'm fully going Nunes left. You want to know why? Can I tell you an honest reason? Mr. Das, we need steroid injections for Jota to make him fit. I agree. So you know what we should do? Let him run less. Put him down the fucking middle. Put Nunes on the left. Tell Nunes run up and down the left wing. That's actually smart.
I'd argue the striker covers more ground than the wingers do in this system. Because the wingers don't really get the ball until the final third.
But listen, to be honest with you,
no matter you work with someone who plays Football Manager the whole time.
No matter who we start,
most of the time.
I don't even think that the front three is the biggest problem.
As well,
here.
I'm fucked.
like, yo, if we win the midfield battle and we play up to what we can play to against a inferior midfield, we will not have issues creating chances for any of those three, no matter who they are, because we've done it this season against poor sides. We've done it this season against good sides. So if the midfield does their job, if the midfield wins the battle, if they bypass the press, if they don't overthink it, if their touch is on the day, we will create opportunities. Mo Salah doesn't have to have a good day, because guess what? If the midfield's on, I'm still going to find a way to get you a tap in. Still going to find you a way to get a one-on-one. I'm still going to figure it out. No matter how shit you've been or how shit you are throughout the game, all I need is 2 or 3 moments. I don't need you to produce 50 moments in a game if I'm winning the midfield battle and controlling the game. I just need 2.
I'm not going to lie, mate.
Let me just say something
really
to Zach
want a good
quickly.
performance this Sunday.
Zach,
I'd
I
really
want you
to
to
see
write
this.
that comment again and then delete them both. This is the worst idea so far out of any idea. Please,
Man,
I
Zach,
want us to
love
hammer
you,
them.
bro.
I want to win like 5-0. I want to concede 0 shots. I want it to be a
Same.
total shutdown.
Same. I love you, Zach, and thank you for supporting the channel, but this is a horrendous idea, my brother. Absolutely horrendous. Okay, let me just wrap up the stream by getting you guys' predictions for Sunday. Thomas?
Oh, well, I get to go first. 7-1.
Okay, girl. Endz.
3-1.
Okay, JJ?
1-1.
Wow.
You're
For
wasting.
fuck's sake, JJ.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I just something in my guts telling me, look, if we like, I want us to win,
Emotional.
of course.
Say what you said in my stream earlier, bro. In the chat. I
What,
swear you put us
1-1?
down to lose. I
What,
swear you
2,
said
yeah, I
to
said
lose.
2. I think 2-0, maybe Cunha and like the striker. What's his name? But I forgot. It's at
Grand
Anfield. I give it 1-1.
I'm
If it was
sorry.
away,
I'm sorry.
Listen,
If
listen.
if Wolves are the second Premier League team to stop us scoring this season, I'll pack the whole season in. I'll be honest.
Yeah. I believe in this team's mentality. I believe in these players. I believe in Arne Slot. I think they're not going to roll over. They're going to use this disposition that was against us to galvanize them as fuel. And I think that we're going to smack them 4-0. I think that this will be a statement for all the players, basically saying, fuck you. You suck. I'm going to leave no room for interpretation. This is the way that it is. And that's what I want to happen. And that's what I'm going to predict.
I will say this,
4-0.
though. I will say
Tell
this.
me.
If Arsenal drop points to Leicester tomorrow, what JJ said becomes a hell of a lot more likely. The way this
Very
season's
true.
gone.
Very true. If Arsenal drop points, but they could easily draw that game. You know,
It's Leicester, man. Let's get a grip. It's Leicester. They're so bad.
But the thing is that Arsenal don't drop points to good teams. Arsenal have the best record against the top 6 by far for the last 2 years. They drop points to Fulham at home. They drop points to West Ham away. Like, this is where they drop points. I'm not worried about Arsenal facing good teams. I'm worried about Arsenal facing shit teams.
Arsenal drop points to mid-table teams. Leicester City are not a mid-table team. They are dog shit. They are a
On the day they could be.
team.
On the day they could be.
Fucking hell.
Up the Foxes. Big up to Jenny who says, smash the likes, people. For Hussam, love this community. Thank you so much, Jenny. I appreciate you. Love for the love. Big up to all of you guys, man. This was one hell of a stream. Thank you so much, Jenny, for sending in the super chat. Thank you to everyone who's watched. Today was an all-timer day, man. The Chelsea watch along earlier on, and now this. I had a lot of fun doing this. Let us get to 250 likes before we close out the stream. We're just 18 likes away from 250 likes, so let's get there. I have 2 predictions. Either the game ends 1-1 or the game ends 4-0 Liverpool. Like, there is no in the middle.
You can't just.
There
do
is
2
literally-
predictions.
What kind of
Yeah,
on
but-
the fence is this, bro?
I think the game could go 1-0
I can't believe
or
that
1-1 or 2-1
I can't believe that
or
you guys
2-2.
think that we're going to concede to them.
And
Okay,
you know-
guys, you know what?
Pick one,
Up
Hassan.
the
You can't
fucking
have
Reds.
2. Pick
4-0
one.
Liverpool. Let's go. We're gonna
Fine.
You have to
comfy win.
manifest it, speak it into
Comfy
existence.
win.
We do
Comfy
have an
win.
effect on
Comfy
that,
win.
right?
Let's
It's
go.
your life, your universe.
Hassan sits there thinking predictions are cover all base things. I could see us losing, or I could see us drawing, or I could see us winning. And I could see us conceding, but I could also see us keeping a clean sheet. Like, come on, man, just ride it out. Say 7-1 like me.
Why, if we're going to score 7 goals, why are you being dishonest and giving them a goal? Like, just,
Lad, I watched us
like
batter
dig
Ipswich
into
for
it. If
85.
you're going to say that,
I watched
No.
us batter
If
Ipswich.
you're
for
going to say that
85
we're going to score
minutes.
7 goals, we're not conceding one. You can't just be like, 7-1.
When's
Mike,
the last
I
time we kept a clean sheet, Mike?
Tottenham.
Okay, fine. Yeah, Tottenham.
In the league.
Bournemouth.
Brentford, isn't it?
Bournemouth.
One Premier League game ago.
I'm telling you right now, Jerry. I'm telling you right now.
It feels like
Feels a lot longer.
Every single player, including Trent, is going to work 110% in this game. Trent, you know what? Trent may be work at Trent might be working at 90% because his standard is about 40. So Trent might not be at 110, but everyone else will be up for
Jerry
this
will
game.
come back to this when
They will be
the
galvanized.
reason we win 2 of these games. Don't worry.
Well, I've already told you that I bought
No.
and I'm shorting Bradley.
Listen, you're on the Bradley side. Don't
I'm
come. There's no
shorting
coming
Bradley.
back.
I've already put in
Over.
the options. I've got a long
It's
play
over.
on Trent.
Over.
Dividends are coming. Returns are in. We're good.
No, we closed the Trent Club. Too late. Gakpo knock one more injury during 15 days. Khalas. Hey, all of a sudden, everyone's in love with Gakpo again. I'm like, yes, man. Please, Cody, save me, man. Save me. Big up to Kalamantas, who just sends in an empty super chat. Big up. Shukran Habibi, the Egyptian king in the chat. Big up to you, Jenny. Once again, make sure you guys are listening to her and liking the video. We're just 10 likes away from 250. Let's get there before the end of the stream. Close your live chat, hit the like button. Double is in chat for all of you, because most of you were here on the Chelsea watch along as well. And this was just a monumentous day in general. Like, I just fucking had fun from start to finish, bro. I'll be honest with you. We were out here dancing. Give us a win, yo. I had so much fun on today's stream.
They didn't even have a shot on target, you know.
You guys score, inshallah. Arsenal versus Leicester. City versus Newcastle. Go subscribe to all these guys' channels. They're all in the description. Peace out.
Give us a win, you. The blue we stand, united we rise.